show. Here's Steve.
Thanks for the warm welcome, and thanks for the nice words about our heart. While we're waiting for that to come up, I want to tell you, I'll kill some time. I want to tell you, I always like to have a bonehead criminal of the year. She didn't come tonight, but we had a write-up call our office, that's our security, and said someone claimed that another person took her sandals when they got off the ride. They have, we have a bin to store your sandals when you go on the spring ride. And so I think I was at the phone and I said, well, how am I going to find her? She's probably gone now. I said, yeah, but I know what she looks like. I see her walking away. So I said, well, what does she look like? It's a busy day. How am I going to find her? She says, well, she's got a helium balloon. So this woman stole someone else's sandals, and there's nobody in the whole park who has helium balloons, And she's walking down the midway with a helium balloon. I thought that was so funny. It's very easy to find her. Or she denies that they were I'm ready if you are. All right. Well, thanks again for having me. I always like coming to this. Right? Look at you. Okay. All right. I'm just going to give you a real quick recap of my life this past 12 months. Because I got to go on one of our former employees is a pilot now, and he offered me a ride one day in March. And so I got my camera. I got a fancy camera. I learned how to use it in about 20 minutes, and I went and took the pictures. And this was so because we don't pay to have someone take aerial photos of our property. So I did that. And I thought it was really cool. So it was a very enjoyable day. This past summer, we introduced the North End, which you already saw a nice video of that, and it was very successful. Thank you. I'm very happy with those 3 exemplary rides. They did well for us, and very low maintenance and trouble-free. I'm not very well with it. This coming season, we're going to get another exemplary ride. It's a Happy Swing ride, which will be in our Kiddieland section. That's one from Coney Island and at the Little Park, Coney Island. Okay, that's where it's going to go. We're going to squeeze it in, shoehorn it in next to our one of our pools in the water park in our Creek. Okay, our Comet. We are from 1951. We've had a manual brake system, and we have 2 trains, but we haven't run 2 trains since 1994, I believe, 1993. And because we're afraid of the human error and potential risk with running 2 trains. So on busy days we have long lines, but we don't like that. So this season we're introducing a new control system, modern control system. We have magnetic brakes and control air-operated pneumatic brakes. And they're being delivered on Monday from Newcastle. So on busy days we can run 2 trains, so that'll be helpful to reduce the lines. That's, we already have our cars modified. Not a very good picture, but we have new bottoms of the car to work with the magnetic brakes, and it has to be a special metal so that they don't get worn out by the skid, because we still have to have a skid brake. One thing interesting about that is the first time they put a magnetic brake on, well, not the first time, but the first time we're doing a magnetic brake is not a normal fin type, because we have a curved station and you can't do a fin wouldn't go through a curve. So it's the first time that this company has designed that. I brought parts, some of the parts from the manual brake system with us for prizes tonight. Because I'm counting on it working. I don't want to put it back together. We brought a new train. This was at IAPA in November in Orlando, and our train was on display at the Chance Rides booth. I like the colors, but we got a whole new train. So on a busy day we can run 2 trains. So we're trying to alleviate our long lines on busy days. That's our mascot Waldameer testing the ride last week. We are running out of space in our maintenance shop, so we added on the taller section of the building, about 50% bigger than our old one. And a quick story about that is you know how we took 10 years to get an approval to build a ravine flower 2. So this part of our property was also off limits by the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. So 2 years ago, our owner, my father-in-law, he avoided DEP again. We went and got our state senator and our state local representatives to introduce a bill to say, basically, the law doesn't apply to us. That there was, and they found a way to write the law that said we got an exemption forever. So. The Senate passed it 50-0, and I think there was like 3 representatives who voted against it. So it was very well received by our politicians. So now we can grow our park in other areas. We have some beachfront property that we're planning on how to do that over the next several years. It won't be fast, but we will do it. Okay, that's the inside of the shop they took the other day. We have to, by the new energy efficiency rules, we have to insulate the walls, put drywall on the ceiling, insulate big time, and it's just silly. It's just silly how much expense. The guys don't like to keep it really warm anyway. So anyway, a lot of extra expense. To help comply with Americans with Disabilities Act, we are finally, after about 20 years, installing a bridge to get across the river in the water park. So all the strollers that have to climb over the steps, lift them up, and wheelchairs also can easily get across the river. So that's been a long time coming. Park School was going to be 40 years old this year. We took down the backdrop, and we're having a local college paint a new scene on the back. And our friend Randy Scallis is going to update some of the scenery inside. He did a really good job in the Wacky Shack, so I'm looking forward to see what he does in the pose. Also, speaking of the Wacky Shack, Laugh in the Dark is a website, and they produced a DVD about the Wacky Shack, and it's available at their website for sale. Other improvements we're going to do real quick. We bought 2 new Midway games. We have a new arcade operator for those of you who like games. We have a new guest service building that we just decided to build about 3 weeks ago, and hopefully we'll get it done soon. But our office was way overloaded with guest relations, if you want to call it that. So now we're going to have to do that right, hopefully. Anyone who has computers. I learned something that you should all learn. If you take away one thing you learned tonight, this is it. If you have a computer, back it up. Our hard drive failed. It failed. I had to send it away to a recovery place. It cost like $4 grand. And I had to do it. I had no choice. And then 3 weeks later, it happened in my house. So I am not a good example of backing up. Okay. This year, another big thing we're doing is, if you've been to our park enough, you know that 2 years ago we introduced our Wally card in our park, where you can use it to purchase things in a cash-free method. And we plan to go over 3 years to introduce that and make it cashless, if you want to call it that. So this year we're going to go into our food section and our retail and say you have to use either credit cards or our Wally card to make purchases. It's a cash control. And also, notes. Let's see. Oh, since I'm telling you about my life too. My son got married in December, and my daughter's getting married in March. So next Saturday. And my wife and no one else in my family wanted to come tonight because they're getting ready for the wedding. Also, I'd like to announce that our good friend Jim Futrell has agreed with Arcadia Publishing to write a book about Waldameer. I'm not stealing his thunder on purpose. He asked to make it happen. He said it should be available by a year from now at the next Coasterbash. Anybody have questions? Comments? Or I'll tell another story. Pardon me? Yep, thank you. All right. Yeah, Dave.
The law that was passed where you're dumping, does that make any easier put in other parts like
It sure does. Yeah, we're going to take our time and decide what's best. We have 4 acres down at the beachfront. We're trying to decide how to best to use that land. We need some kind of lift system to get people down there. We'd like to. There was at one time an incline, like in Pittsburgh, which I drove by today coming here. At one time there was one there called the tuner wheel trolley. We started looking into that, but not real seriously. It seems really expensive. You know how Knoebels has a ski lift, chair lift? That's a lot less expensive. There's some drawbacks to that too, but we're trying to. They had a boardwalk before too that wound its way down. You could walk it, but that would be pretty hard now. So we're trying to think about all the development we need, what rides to go down there, and how to get people up, back and forth. All right. Well, thank you very much. Thank you.